I wanted to come on here. It's the full moon, October 17th, 2024. And it's been kind of on my heart to share a little shame number 2, possibly, or a forgiveness, self-forgiveness, to bring in some self-love. One of the themes that I have been hearing through a lot of teachers, and I think through a lot of Buddhist teachings, and even some of the major religions at the core, and in the mystic traditions, there is some need for self-love, self-grace, to give ourselves some grace, and to find a way to love ourselves. And this is not in the egoic sense of the word, of being better than others, but often underneath everything, what holds us back is holding ourselves either guilty, maybe unconscious shame, holding ourselves to a standard that is hard to maintain. We are all humans, and we are full of contradictions. I can come on here and do a teaching on meditation or share some insights. Doesn't mean I don't have bad days, and I fall short often. But learning how to find some grace in that and say, well, guess I have to start again, right? It's not throw the baby out with the bathwater, as the old saying goes. I'm not even for sure where that comes from. But I think it's about, just being able to accept ourselves as fallible, as making mistakes. And there's no perfect person on the planet. And even going through some of my own self-reflections about parenting and what I could have done better, and some of the challenges that my child faced from me being a young mother, an unhealed mother, with some mental health issues, trauma issues, unresolved, yada yada, but doing so in a way to where I'm not just beating myself up, saying, yeah, that had some bad effects, and I take accountability for that. And I wish it would have been different. And now, what can I do to alleviate any suffering from myself and from him, if that's possible, to do the acknowledgement. So I share that as my own journey has brought me to this. So, long-winded way of saying, coming to a place, and something that I have shared with a couple of the vets when I had worked with them, combat veterans, because often there are things that happen in war that are difficult, of course, and something that they carry with them. And even if the logical mind says this is war and this is what happens in war, it was hard for many of them to forgive themselves. And just like with those of us with trauma past, difficult childhoods, substance abuse, there were things that maybe we did that weren't reflective of us at our core, but were a result of reaction of being unconscious. So what I am going to share is something that I'm going to start doing again, and I'm going to put it up on my mirror in the bathroom. And so this comes from, and I will probably not say this correctly, so I'll put some information about links where you can go look up where the tradition came from, and some information about it. And it's the Ho'oponopono method. And there's some stories behind it. It being more island Hawaii is where what I have seen is where it is originated from, with the shamanic tradition of reconciliation for them. And there is a story of a psychologist, I believe it was a psychologist, that went in to a prison with that a lot of severely mentally ill prisoners, and he went through their charts and he did this method over each one of them after reading their history, and that there was some little miracles that happened with that for the prisoners, unbeknownst to them that he was doing that. I'm not for sure. I've seen where that's been validated, and I can't prove that. But what I can say is I have seen some research that it does come from a Hawaiian lineage and maybe some other islands with other flavors of it. So what is taken from that is that, and I would have you do this with a mirror and looking yourself in the eyes and saying these 4 lines. And maybe you don't even have a specific thing in mind as far as something that you feel like you're holding yourself guilty for or angry with yourself about, whatever that might be for you. But maybe it's just this low self-esteem or feeling unworthy. So that all comes from somewhere. So I propose that you have this on your mirror. You can use a 3x5 card, a sticky note, whatever it is. But what is important is to look yourself in the eyes as you say these 4 lines. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. You say it 4 times. I would say do it once in the morning, once at night. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And I do. I love you. And I would say you could do this along with some tapping. I know there's some tapping routines that you can do around this, but this can be very powerful and transformative, especially for things that may be unconscious even. We're not even for sure where this unworthiness comes from, or the sadness comes from, or even our negative self-talk and our thoughts. It's like, don't believe all the thoughts that you have, because we have a lot of them, but the negative ones seem to get a lot of attention, unfortunately. So give this a try. I would say do it for at least, I can't remember the number of days that it is, but I would say at least for 6 weeks, twice a day, morning and night. Doesn't take very long to do it 4 times. And even if you're looking in the mirror and you're thinking, this is dumb, don't believe it, I don't forgive myself, I don't love myself, it's okay. Do it anyway. Say it anyway. This is part of how we can possibly and hopefully deprogram ourselves from all the negativity and thinking that we're not worthy and that we're not loved by the divine, whatever and however you define that, whether that's God or the universe or, a Buddhist tradition or a Hindu tradition or a Muslim tradition, Islamic or Jewish or whatever. It doesn't matter what you call that. The divine creation of all, that divine impulse of love. You are deeply loved and deeply worthy of good things, of feeling good, of being healthy, of being at peace. And knowing that all the chatter of everything that's going on around in the world doesn't have to define us. It doesn't mean we don't care. It doesn't mean we don't take action when we need to. But in the midst of that, we know our worth and we know we're loved. I'm working on it. I hope you'll join me in the work. I love you. Peace.